Good morning, everyone. And without further ado, Contra Costa County Superintendent of Schools, Lynn Mackey.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here this morning, and welcome to our Poetry Out Loud competition. First, I want to, congratulate all the students everywhere who participated in this, and particularly our finalists today who are with us. Thank you for being here, and congratulations on making it to this round. I really want to thank Robin Moore, who is here, right there, who we could not do this event without her coordination. I also want to thank CCTV for always being here and supporting schools throughout Contra Costa County, and my incredible communications team for putting this on. You know, I was I've always known poetry, but poetry came into my heart really at DVC when I had this amazing English teacher, Susan Brown, who had us all learn poetry, recite it, really get to know it, and perform it and speak it. A broad range of poetry. I mean, everything from Emily Dickinson to, Langston Hughes to Rumi, we would just really know it. And then I went on to, and that had me go on to be a writing and poetry major in college. And so this has always been a passion for me, and I just so congratulate you and thank you for really moving the arts forward this way and for participating in this event. So with no further ado, let me see. Yeah, no further ado, I will hand it back over to Marcus.
Thank you, Superintendent Mackey. Welcome, everyone. It's Poetry Out Loud. This is our second year hosting this event. The Contra Costa County Office of Education is hosting it, and this is our countywide Poetry Out Loud competition. The top scoring student today will represent the county at the state competition in Sacramento, and we are excited to listen to the students recite their poetry today. I'm supposed to do a few introductions. You've already met Robin Moore, who coordinates this program for us. Without her, this would not be happening. Obviously, we have Superintendent Mackey here as well. I'd also like to introduce our judges for the day, we will give them a deeper introduction a little later. But first, we have Evelyn Janine Mitchell and Steve Kinsella and Delia Colorado. Our accuracy judge is Susan Laird. And we have a special poet and someone who's been coaching students this year, Amy Glenn. Amy, there you are, thank you. No problem. So thank you all very much. And without further ado, we are going to get into round one. From San Ramon Valley High School in Danville, Brooke Sanders.
To Have Without Holding by Marge Piercy. Learning to love differently is hard. Love with the hands wide open, love with the doors banging on their hinges, the cupboards unlocked, the wind roaring and whimpering in the rooms, rustling the sheets and snapping the blinds that thwack like rubber bands in an open palm. It hurts to love wide open, stretching the muscles that feel as if they are made of wet plaster, then of blunt knives and of sharp knives. It hurts to thwart the reflexes of grab, of clutch, to love and let go again and again. It pesters to remember the lover who is not in the bed, to hold back what is owed to the work that gutters like a candle in a cave without air, to love consciously, conscientiously, concretely, constructively. I can't do it, you say. It's killing me. But you thrive, you glow on the street like a neon raspberry, you float and sail, a helium balloon, bright bachelor's button blue and bobbing on the cold and hot winds of our breath as we make and unmake in passionate diastole and systole, the rhythm of our unbounded bonding. To have and not to hold, to love with minimized malice, hunger and anger, moment by moment balanced. Thank you.
Next, from Las Lomas High School, Kimberly Wing.
To Madame Curie by Alice Moore Dunbar Nelson. Oft I have thrilled at the deeds of high emprise and yearned to venture into realms unknown. Thrice blessed she I deemed whom God had shown how to achieve great deeds in woman's guise. Yet what discovery by expectant eyes of foreign shores could vision half the throne full gained by her, whose power fully grown exceeds the conquerors of the uncharted skies? So would I be this woman whom the world avows its benefactor nobler far than Sybil, Joan, Sappho, or Egypt's queen? In the alembic forged her shafts and hurled at pain, disease, waging a humane war. Greater achievement than this? None, I ween.
From College Now, Adri Walker. Thank you.
Since There Is No Escape by Sarah Teasdale. Since there is no escape, since at the end my body will be utterly destroyed, this hand I love as I have loved a friend, this body I tended, wept with, and enjoyed. Since there is no escape, even for me who love life with a love too sharp to bear, the scent of orchards in the rain, the sea, and hours alone too still and sure for prayer. Since darkness waits for me, then all the more let me go down as waves sweep to the shore in pride, and let me sing with my last breath. In these few hours of light, I lift my head. Life is my lover, I shall leave the dead, if there is any way to baffle death. Thank you.
From Independence High School, Grace Pastor.
The Conqueror Worm by Edgar Allan Poe. Lo, 'tis a gala night within the lonesome latter years. An angel, throng, bewinged, bedight in veils and drowned in tears, sit in a theater to see a play of hopes and fears, while the orchestra breathes fitfully the music of the spheres. Mimes in the form of God on high mutter and mumble low, and hither and thither fly. Mere puppets they, who come and go at bidding of vast, formless things that shift the scenery to and fro, flapping from out their condor wings. Invisible woe. That motley drama, oh, be sure it shall not be forgot, with its phantom chased forevermore by a crowd that sees it not, through a circle that ever returneth into the self-same spot, and much of madness and more of sin and horror, the soul of the plot. But see, amid the mimic rout, a crawling shape intrude, a blood-red thing that writhes from out the scenic solitude. It writhes with mortal pangs, the mimes become its food, and seraphs sob at vermin fangs and human gore imbued. Out of the lights, out all, and over each quivering form, the curtain, a funeral pall, comes down with the rush of a storm. While the angels, all pallid and wan, uprising, unveiling, affirm that the play is the tragedy Man and its hero, the conqueror worm.
So Chima was unable to join us today, so we'll move on to Alejandra Martinez from Mount Diablo High School.
A Noiseless Patient Spider by Walt Whitman. A noiseless, patient spider. I marked on a little promontory. It stood isolated, marked how to explore the vague and vast surrounding. It launched forth. Filament, 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 out of itself, ever unreeling them, ever tirelessly speeding them. And you, oh my soul, where you stand, surrounded, detached, in measureless oceans of space, ceaselessly musing, venturing, throwing, seeking the spheres to connect them, till the bridge you will need be formed, till the docked anchor hold, till the gossamer thread you fling, catch somewhere. Oh, my soul. Thank you.
And our final poem for round one from Pinole Valley High School, Ariana Salvador.
Being by Tanea Winder. Wake up, greet the sun and pray. Burn cedar, sweet grass, sage, sacred herbs to honor the lives we've been given. For we have been gifted these ways since the beginning of time. Remember, when you step into the arena of your life, think about those who stand beside you, next to, and with you. Your ancestors are always in your corner along with your people. When we enter this world, we are born hungry. Our spirits long for us to live out our traditions that have been passed down for generations. Prayer,
ceremony, dance, language are ways of being. Never forget you were put on this earth for a reason. Honor your ancestors, be a good relative. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to do a brief intermission before round two, but don't leave your seats. We're going to just introduce our judges. And if, when I call your names, if our judges can stand, turn, give a quick wave. We'll start with Delia, Colorado. She's an interpreter, translator, and singer. She's originally from Puerto Rico and has been in California since 1988 and has her master's in counseling and psychology from Santa Clara University. Thank you for being here today. And Steve Kinsella, who is a Steve Kinsella, sorry. He's a performance coach to Broadway stars in singing and acting from his studio in Brentwood. He is also president of the Broadway Repertory Theater, and apparently there will be a showing of My Fair Lady a production of My Fair Lady at the Lesher Center sometime this summer. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you for being here and volunteering your time. And our last judge is Evelyn Janine Mitchell. Miss Mitchell and I go way back to short pants and Sunday school. So Miss Mitchell is the former poet laureate for the city of El Cerrito, and she has performed spoken word in Africa and throughout the United States, and studied at Sacramento State University and at the Pivot Point International Cosmetology School. And now she takes her poetry and puts it into practice in cosmetology. So thank you, Ms. Mitchell, for being here as well. Round two, and we get to start with Brooke Sanders from San Ramon Valley High School.
Violins by Rowan Ricardo Phillips. He never saw a violin, but he saw a lifetime of violence. This is not to presume that if he had simply seen a violin, he would have seen less violence, or that living among violins as though they were boulangeries or toppling stacks of other glazed goods like young adult fiction would have made the violence less crack and more cocaine. Less, of course, and more why, God, oh why. More of one thing doesn't rhyme with one thing. A swill of stars doesn't rhyme with star. A posse of poets doesn't rhyme with poet. We're all in prison. This is the brutal lesson of the 21st century, swilled like a sour stone through the vein of the beast who watches you while you eat. Our eternal host, the chummed fiddler, the better tomorrow, MMXVI. Thank you.
Our next competitor is Grace Pastor from Independence High School.
Dyed Carnations by Robin Shiv. There's blue, and then there's blue. A number, not a hue. This blue is not the undertone of any one, but there it is, primary. I held the bouquet in shock and cut the stem at a deadly angle. I opened the toxic sachet of flower food with my canine and rinsed my mouth. I used to wash my hands and daydream, dream of myself and wash my hands of everything. Easy math. Now, I can't get the procedure at the florist off my mind. The white flowers arrive. They overnighted in a chemical bath. Now they have a fake laugh that catches like a match that starts the kind of kitchen fire that is fanned by water. They won't even look at me. Happy anniversary.
Next, we have Alejandra Martinez from Mount Diablo High School.
Because I Will Be Silent by Ha Jin. Once I have the freedom to say, my tongue will lose its power. Since my poems strive to break the walls that cut off people's voices, they become drills and hammers. But I will be silenced. The snare tie around my neck at any moment can tighten into a cobra. How can I speak about coffee and flowers? Thank you.
Ariana Salvador, Pinole Valley High School.
Oranges by Royce Kelly. I'll choose for myself next time who I'll reach out and take as mine, in the way I might stand at a fruit stall. Having decided to ignore the apples, the mangoes, and the kiwis, but hold my hands above a pile of oranges, as if to warm my skin before a fire. Not only have I chosen oranges, but I also choose which orange. I'll test a few for firmness, scrape some rind off with my fingernails so that a citrus scent will linger there all day. I won't be happy with the first one I pick, but we'll try different ones until I know you. How will I know you? You'll feel warm between my palms, and I'll cup you like a handful of holy water. A vision will come to me of your exotic land. The sun you swelled under, the tree you grew from, a drift of white blossoms from the orange tree will settle in my hair, and I'll know. This is how I will choose you. By feeling you, smelling you, by slipping you into my coat. Maybe then I'll climb the hill, look down on the town we live in with sunlight on my face and a miniature sun burning a hole in my pocket. Thirsty, I'll suck the juice from it, from you. When I walk away, I'll leave behind a trail of limp, bright rind. Thank you.
Next, Kimberly Wang, Las Lomas High School.
We Lived Happily During the War by Ilya Kaminsky. And when they bombed other people's houses, we protested. But not enough. We opposed them, but not enough. I was in my bed. Around my bed, America was falling. Invisible house by invisible house by invisible house. I took a chair outside and watched the sun. In the 6th month of a disastrous reign in the house of money, in the streets of money, in the city of money, in the country of money, our great country of money. We, forgive us, lived happily during the war. Thank you.
Adri Walker from College Now.
Oh, oh, you will be sorry for that word, by Edna St. Vincent Millay. Oh, oh, you will be sorry for that word. Give back my book and take my kiss instead. Was it my enemy or my friend that said,
Sorry. I'm going to start over, even though I know that's wrong.
oh, oh, you will be sorry for that word. Give back my book and take my kiss instead. Was it my enemy or my friend I heard? What a big book for such a little head. Come, I will show you now my newest hat, and you may watch my mouth purse and prink. Oh, I shall love you still, and all of that. I never again shall tell you what I think. I shall be sweet and crafty, soft and sly. You will not catch me reading any more. I shall be called a wife to pattern by. And someday, when you knock and push the door, some sane day, not too bright and not too stormy, I shall be gone, and you may whistle for me. Thank you.
Let's give all of our poets a rousing hand. And as they are compiling the scores for awards, we have a special treat. Amy Glenn, who has been coaching students this year for us, will come up and recite some poetry. So Amy, please come on up.
Actually, this thing you see in front of you is a book. I'm going to read. I made a deliberate decision there because I was thinking about it. Oh, do I have any of my own poems memorized? I've got Keats, I've got Cavafy, but we don't tend to memorize our own stuff. I've got a couple of friends that do, and I think they're crazy. Like, that's so stressful, why? But just as a counterpoint, I figured it might be instructive. This has been such an interesting round, you guys. Thank you so much for involving me, Robin, and to all the students who have put in so much work. It's been amazing to see how your performances have evolved since the beginning of the school level program. It's just been great. So congratulations to everyone. You've all done some pretty amazing stuff. This poem is called Caedmon's Hymn. It's a reference, just for anybody who's not familiar with Caedmon. He was a 7th century Anglo-Saxon monk and believed to be the first to write written poetry in Anglo-Saxon. This is interesting because he was illiterate. And according to legend, he was the gamekeeper in an abbey, and one night a being came to him in a vision, presumably an angel, and said, "Sing to me of the beginning of all things." And without even knowing that he could do it, he found himself composing poetry and words that he didn't know he knew, and all of this weird mystical stuff. The next morning he woke up, he went to the abbess and said, "Look, this thing happened, here's what I was given," and she just said, "Okay, keep having that dream." So he ended up becoming one of the first ecclesiastical poets in Anglo-Saxon that we know of. Anyway, this is called Caedmon's Hymn. We begin in an ocean of cadence. Notes fly forth like the quicksilver flash of fish. Gather them up in your plucked strings. We net what we've knitted together, or rather, whether cacophonies resolve or whether we wake broken and thrashing, one lidless eye fixed on a far-off fire. We struggle for air, not sustenance. It's something higher, clearer. Concerto or plain song, it has to begin someplace deep and finish in an orderliness the thinner atmosphere can conduct. Out here, no one is safe. And something in us dulls as it's hauled lightward. Scales diminish from the bright, brash iridescence that we had hold of in our dreams, and yet we heed the stranger's edict. Sing to me. We let ourselves be caught to the arid shores of consciousness and sound what notes we can take hold of. Of the beginning of all things, there's primarily tide, chaos and rhythm bound in a primeval contract not a soul can break. We break on reefs of notes, are pitched sick, but whatever rings true is wrung from every one of us, in vast polyphonies and syncopations, in desuetudes and gasps of speechless praise for something that eludes everyone. Nothing can hold the whole of it or please the ravenous angel, but the thirst one breath bursts for the next, and so we let it drown us repeatedly lest we ever forget it. The beginning was music. There was music first. Thank you.
if I can have Superintendent Mackey and Robin Moore and Amy Glenn join me on stage. Come on, in closer. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to call up the students one by one and give them their certificates, and then we'll call our top 3 finishers as well. Just so you know, each of the students participating will receive at least $25, and the third place finisher will receive $50, the second place $100, and first place, not only do they get to represent us at state, but they will receive $250 from the County Office of Education. First up from Las Lomas High School, Kimberly Wing. And from Mount Diablo High School, Alejandra Martinez. Grace Pastor from Independence High School. And next, in third place, from College Now, Adri Walker. And in second place, from San Ramon Valley High School, Brooke Sanders. And finally, representing Contra Costa County in the State Poetry Out Loud competition, Ariana Salvador from Pinole Valley High School. And I believe this is the second year in a row Pinole Valley High School will be representing the county in Sacramento. And we're going to, before we go, can we get everyone to move to the middle of the stage? And we're going to take a couple of photos. I will move this out of the way. And thank you all very much for joining us today. And please stick around and congratulate the students before they leave. Have a great day.